Welcome back, Keepers of the Flame. Okay, so I just did a little bit of a channeling. I had quite a few different ones come in, and they'll do that. They'll just... I think we need more channelers on the planet because it feels like they're just like fighting for a seat. They're coming in hot today. Coming in so hot. Like, and it's not that, like, you can't be your own person anymore. It's like you open your channel up to those wisdoms, right, from the past. I might do another one today, depending on, what is that song by 9 Inch Nails? They keep calling me. Keep on calling. Hi, women's coming through today. Okay. Cancer is now the official channeler of the Zodiac, not just the witch. Official channeler. Because it just opens up so much. So much. And I tried to keep up. And I can't slow it down because, like, I'll lose the message if I tell, okay, so I'm not quite sure who this energy is, but they're very vehement about this thing. I'm not quite sure who this message is from, but they're the little, okay. It's just a thing. It's just a thing. So now I want to pull some cards and get some clarification and see how she grows. Because right now we are, oh man. So Cancer is the wellspring of the Zodiac. Okay. And it rules over the breasts, the fascia. Everybody thinks it rules over the womb. No, that's Scorpio. Scorpio rules over the reproductive organs. So, Cancers are the wellspring, okay? The stuff that brings the water to the surface for us to drink, filled with nutrients. You ever been at a mountainside spring? Oh my, there is no place better than a mountainside spring. There just isn't. Anyway, where everybody's going to collect their water. It makes me so happy I could cry. Anyway, so the way in which Cancer energy shows up in the 3D is that wellspring of nutrients. The things that we need to sustain our bodies, our minds, our spirits, and the earth. All life on earth is dependent on that water. So they are the filtration. Cancer gets kind of ignored as the filtration system. So they run the mucus through the body as well. So like your lymph nodes and all, like fascia, which we have not been allowed to talk about for a long time, or has been ignored horrifically. Fascia is like how you move, like that skin, the lovely, delicious, gooey spider web that's between your skin and the skeletal part of the body, I guess you could say, parts of the body. So it is, it's how athletes are starting to realize they heal much better when they're looking at the fascia. And they don't get as many injuries when they work with the fascia rather than stiffening up. I think I had a kind of a similar conversation about that. This is 4 minutes in and I'm babbling. I apologize. Anyway, so Cancer wellspring is the filtration system. It's taking all the water from the planet, from wherever various sources, filtering it through all the rocks and minerals of the Earth's crust and bringing it back up filled with nutrients again and not packed with salt. Okay. Our globe is a giant filter for water and we're polluting it like freaking dinguses. Anyway, now we're having to do that for ourselves because the people we pay a lot of money to don't do it for us. They don't. A lot of prescription medication is left in our water system. Anything that goes into the ground runoff is in our water system. Whatever crap they're spraying in the skies, and they are. Jim Lee at climateview.com. Go check it out. He's got all the history on it, and he's got it well backed up. So when we have these notions that, like, you know, Cancerian energy relates to this, which relates to this, everything is in. That's what I'm trying to. Basically what my class is. Everything's interconnected. Everything is interconnected. You don't escape it. You don't. There's a giant web here, and it reaches all the way out to the cosmos and beyond what we have even perceived yet. There are new planets being discovered because we are raising our consciousness. When we raise our consciousness, we can see more, we can hear more, we can accept more, we can be more, blah, 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 blah. Okay? So this is how I rock my world. Okay? That's how I operate over here. Okay? So when we know how those things connect, and they connect to plants. This is my Bible. So much so it's poor girl's falling apart. Anyway. So this is The Weaving, Plants, Planets, and People by Abba Arneson. I cannot. It's my favorite book in the whole wide world. And so, and she fucking just, she's seamless with her weaving. She's fucking seamless, and it's beautiful, and I love it, and it's glorious, and I'm learning as much as I can from it. But everything is interconnected with everything else. Everything that's happening in society is happening within us. Everything that is happening within us is happening in society and in the environment and everything else. Everything is connected to everything. So it's not some woo-woo thing. It is biologically driven into us, and we think the cosmos is some unattainable woo-woo unicorn space. No. Unicorns were real, in my humble opinion. And they were very, I mean, just, if you've ever been in the presence of a horse and you're not numb from the brain down, okay? Imagine a fucking unicorn with wings, okay? Lady, I know, but at some point, that mythological story was relevant, just like the Abrahamic was relevant at one point, and it served a purpose. It told a story that the people related to. So why are people relating to unicorns and winged horses if they are just lies? Okay, there has to be some sort of teeny tiny kernel of truth in something. Okay, there has to be. It has to be woven in there. That's how they get you hooked with the biblical narrative, is because, like, yeah, linen is biotic, microbial, whatever the hell it is. It stays the cleanest. Linen. They think that because the script that they stole from the people before them that knew that stuff, that they had to burn at the stakes because they knew that stuff. They think that because that was stolen, murdered for, and rewritten in a patriarchal construct to keep the hierarchy in place, that it's somehow relevant. That validates everything else that's in the entire book. Just because they put a few kernels of truth in there, all of a sudden, it is the end all be all. No, it is a control mechanism. They have to use the kernels of truth to hook you. It is protocol. Nobody's going to stick to something that they don't resonate with. It's just never going to happen. And this is why things like dragons and unicorns and whatever else has not died. Okay? But I think that the vast majority of the human population would be like, no, I don't believe that other people have to die so I can live. Subconscious undercurrent. No outside messages coming in. Good. Ooh, 9 of Swords though. And the Five of Wands. Then you get the healing. Okay, so, okay. And that might come from your childhood. Okay, so here's the deal. Here's how we deal with this. Okay, it's gonna hurt. 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 It's gonna be as disruptive as you let it be. It's gonna be as disruptive as you let it be. Okay. So, either you're good at the game and you're not going to tune into this channel, or you're like, I don't even think I want to play this shit anymore because it's causing so much stress in my life. And you're right, it is. So stop playing the game. And that's when this happens. And it's probably the key to that is in your childhood. Something got stuffed down. Something got told, you know, maybe you wrote it on a balloon and gave it to God, or gave it to, you know, whatever you want to call it, gave it to, and now you have to go back in your God center. And then there's another one in your sacral chakra. Shh, don't tell anybody, it might scare people. You have to go back in there and figure it out and find it. And that's the beauty of it. I can't give that to you. No guru can give that to you. No Jesus, Hail Mary, Buddha, Muhammad. No one can give that to you. That is your sacred gift that you came here with, that you gave away or you stuffed down. And you're going to go in that portal and find it with your magic, beautiful star wand. Okay? Okay. Again, don't tell anyone. Why did that come through? Okay, maybe don't tell anybody that you're doing this inner work. Number 2, or find trusted people that you can. Because I went through a period where I could not talk to people about what I was experiencing. You know, and it's difficult. And that's how they set it up. Is they make it so horrible and taboo to even conceive of that, like, you know, this whole thing is really doing a lot of damage in this co-creative web that we all have no choice but to be on. And therefore, you know, you do have to question yourself. Am I even on the web? Am I even on the web? Is this on the web? Am I looking at the truth? Am I firmly standing even on the web of life? And so those things are for your exploration. Oh, my poor little girl. I made this. This is like a homemade candle. Not really homemade, but like I went to like a candle maker, and like she does like these little meet and greet things. Oh my god, it's so pretty. I don't know if I can show it to you. But like there's like rocks and herbs and all that cool stuff in there. There we go. And so she has just beautiful little shot. Oh my god. I mean, it's like the perfect space. It's just so magical. And she does a really good job with it. And she's got all different herbs, and there's like little stones you can put in there. You pick the color of your vessel. You pick the color of your wax, the scents. You get to play with the scents and figure out what scents you want to combine to make your own personal scent. Oh my god, it was so much fun. So, and again, I know they're saying, don't burn anything today. This is my creation. I'll do what I want. So again, going inside, doing that intuitive nature thing, whatever else. Maybe you just hold a sacred bath ceremony with some candles, right? Okay, maybe you burn things tomorrow, right? So like, don't let people scare you. Follow your inner intuition, because that's even in the modern day spiritual communities that's kind of around. Like they want to dogmatically terrify you into this, that, and the other thing. Do your Abso-fucking-lutely. And if things aren't going the way, whatever, take a look at maybe the astrology, take a look at your own astrology and how it's playing into things, and then start to bring all that into fruition. Then flip it and then go, okay, I know what I'm looking at now. I know how to get into symbolism of color, of crystals, of everything. Get into the symbolism. Once you understand the symbolism, you create your own magic by default. That's interesting. That's really interesting. So justice shows up. And again, I did videos on this. Justice only shows up when we get the F out of the way. We stop trying to do her job for her. And again, you're not giving your power away. You're just saying, I'm going to take my sacred energy back from this particular situation and allow the energetic system that's already in place, that man did not set up, that man cannot dictate, to do its thing. And we need to let go of expecting anything to show up. That's not, oh, there it is. We need to stop demanding that anything we have in our expectation mind show up. We have to let that go. We have to let it all go. Okay. And again, it's not God, it's justice. There's an energetic pattern that will show up automatically without man's interference, that you don't have to perform for, that you don't have to squeal in front of a judge for, that you don't have to put in the hands of some paid off jerkface who's never going to see justice for what she is, right? Because they're told that, like, whatever. Okay? So it is, I did pick a really good scent. Anyway, I can't even remember what the heck it was. But anyway, the idea behind justice is like you take yourself out of it. You take that yourself off. It feels like what you're doing here is you're like, I'm just going to lay dormant for a little while. Sorry, my dog is nesting. There's a bed right next to the stand, and I do not know how to stabilize my stand. I am so sorry. I've tried like 8 different times to like get down there. Just nope, doesn't work that way. Anyway, let me hold you for just a moment. You finished, Yodes? Thanks, Yoda. You're a good boy. Okay. I'll keep that to myself. Again, this is why I don't like showing the cards, is because sometimes things show up that, again, I think I slipped at the beginning of the read and said, don't tell anybody. It just kind of, you know what I mean? And that's an experiment you can do too, is like, and that's what happens, is the greedy will show themselves by default now. The energy is safe. I'm getting the energy is safe for that greed and that bully nature. And that hoarding energy to kind of expose itself for what it really is, rather than what we have been told it is. Because a lot of times when we're dealing with justice systems that continuously fail not only the individual but the general population from protecting them, of course automatically we would start losing heart in it, so we're going to have to step back from it. and that justice will show up in various ways. And oftentimes it has nothing to do with men, nothing to do with man. If you understood how the energy patterns work and how biology correlates directly with that, one of the Rothschild dudes had to have 13 heart transplants. Now, this isn't shaming everybody for getting sick, because there are definitely environmental factors involved with people getting sick. It's just, I don't know why they did that. Well, I do know, because they need us to be not paying attention. And it could be, they put the organic stuff on the market because they were having too many adverse effects from denying the public healthy food. It could be that. And now they're having a lot of effects for doing what they did to the air and the water and the earth. Okay? So, again, if you let divine justice do its thing, it will. Unfortunately, the loss of life does not help. We got the Six of Pentacles, which in this deck, I do not want. Look at that jerkface standing at the top, like he's deciding how many drops she gets in her cup. Yeah, it gives off this vibe. Only it's one of these guys at his command that's standing at the top of the teacup. See what I mean, Vern? A little ant deciding how much, especially the women, get. Ooh, chow. Don't get me started. The Hermit. Ooh. Six of Swords. What does that look like to you? Come on now. Okay. Leaving that part of yourself behind. The Three of Cups in reverse. I said, don't tell nobody. Sun in reverse. Keep it hidden until everything's a clean split and you come back to life. And when you got your butterfly wings there. So we're all collectively in a chrysalis right now until February. Yay! So, comprehending that this is a process that biologically is going to happen. And we'd like to believe that the people at the top are in charge. And the only reason that brings us comfort is that if nature had charge, we'd be a little bit scared. Be a little bit scared. But there's no reason to be scared because nature is in charge, not the men at the top. They're trying desperately to override nature in every single facet. And how they perceive that was a grand idea is beyond me. This is why I have a really difficult time believing that actual human beings are running this place, because it's like, this is how we sustain ourselves here. This is how we get food and water. Maybe let's not toxify the crap out of it. I mean, granted, the earth will be fine, but we ourselves will go extinct along with several other species and whatnot. So maybe, just maybe, start honoring that, respecting that, cherishing it, caring for it, coexisting with it, cohabitating, co-creating with it, rather than poisoning the crap out of it and creating things like super weeds and uber bugs. And I don't know about you, but I get a little weirded out when I think about somebody who's like, we're just going to blow their stomachs up, thus creating some fucking idiot. Somebody who knew nothing about nature, who was probably a well-established scientist, was like, let's just blow their stomachs up, which would then biologically create what? Bugs with really tough stomachs, which means they could possibly start eating things that they're not typically used to eating. I don't know how or why or what was driving that. Other than, these pests are my... A fucking whiny ass farmer not knowing that, like, you know, if you don't put the nutrients in your soil, the bugs will eliminate the crops that are bad for the humans. Because they're not nutrient dense. It starts in the soil, kids. You have to make sure that there's enough nutrients in the soil. Trigger warning. We used to pour our period blood in the soil, which gave it more than enough nutrients for the tribe to survive off of. Not such a tangled web, but it's definitely a propaganda web. Definitely a propaganda web. How many people you know are comfortable with period blood? Not a lot. Not a lot. And that is by design. We are shaming the crap out of humanity, especially the part of it that keeps it going. It's so weird. The ones responsible for giving birth. Crazy to me, considering, well, and you know, the other thing too is like we're about to remember that we are androgynous in nature at the base. Okay. So, all right. For the outcome or for a recent past, what brought you to this death was you were moving forward in this mode and not being victorious. Okay. So like, who do I actually want to live there? Who do I want to live there? And you're like, joy. I want joy there. I don't need a human being there. I need to put joy there. Vibrate that out. And then Schnuggums, who is also on the same frequency, can stand up there on the roof with me and vibe out and be in joy. That's also how you call in your soul tribe, by the way, is get into it. Not necessarily like a state of constant, oh, I can't feel bad. It's even though things are difficult and I feel lousy, I am going to choose to witness the joy in my environment. I'm going to choose to witness it irregardless. Okay? And that brings an authentic tribe in. And maybe it doesn't necessarily involve a mate, because look at all the floors on that building. Okay? Maybe got a whole freaking whatever to build a commune with. Whatever it is, right? So that is going to be the key, is you enter into that state. You enter into it. You put it out into the world. Now, this is where people get really fucked. This is not an ignoring of your pain. This is not a suppression of grief. This is not, I'm going to neglect this aspect of myself. This plus. Okay? So it's not a suppression or denial. It's not. So there's that weird saying, I will not waste the hour of my pain or some shit like that. So it's, I squander the hour of my pain or whatever it is. You can be in pain and be out enjoying things. It's not wrong or bad, especially people who are grieving, especially go through that, where you feel guilty for enjoying things without someone else present where they would have been present. Okay? Let that archaic narrative fuck all the way off your plate. Okay? That's not it. You are a human being worthy of joy in this moment. Okay? And this is why it is not healthy to be in, I don't see this little skeleton right here, the skeleton face. See that? I just came across that the other day. That little feather looks like a skeleton, and he's got hearts in his eyes. Okay? So when the thing that comes along that we have been propagandized to believe is supposed to come along, which is our super uber duber mate, which, okay, yes, it's important that we get intimate connections and coexist on a very deep connected level. But tying all your needs to one human being is abuse. I don't care who you are or what you believe, it's abuse. Making someone else completely submit to all of your needs and wants is abuse. Okay, so stop putting all your eggs in one basket, okay, and branch out. You're like, you know what, my community over here is really good at meeting this need, and this community over here is really good at meeting this need, and this group right here is like my core foundation, and I really rely on them to bring those deep dark subjects to, so I'm going to go to them, you know, for that kind of thing. And then this community over here is going to help me build whatever the hell it is, whatever the hell you want, a hobby, a new career, a side project, or help you with a work project, whatever the hell it is. These all these things have to be in that gear of the Wheel of Fortune, which is not here right now. Okay, moving things forward. Okay, has to be. So putting everything on one person is a form of extreme abuse, and that's how they get us trapped in that. This is not a popular opinion, and I completely comprehend that, and there are some couples out there that comprehend that and don't demand their other spouse member meet every single solitary one of their needs. Like, you're gonna have a checkbox, absolutely, for standards, but it's not like you are bound for all eternity to meet this particular need, even though they might not want to. They might not have the capacity to. So you're forcing them into doing things they don't want to do, and then they're going to become resentful and angry, and then you're going to be like, I don't understand why you can't blah, 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 blah. Because they don't want to. Stop forcing people, and this is why romance fails so much, is because the men are instructed, pretend you're this person, get her in commitment of some sort, whatever that looks like for you, and then just slack off. And that's what they do, and then we get mad at them. But we have a whole group of females over here, and this is the crazy part, is the incels are like trad wives only, and it's like, those are the people that are going to demand everything of you. Those are the people that are going to demand you be the provider of all the things, while they create and do. You bring home the groceries, they create the meal. That kind of dichotomy. Okay, so drop it and go for this. Love you. Keep